Hello everybody and welcome to In My Mug episode number 53 on Monday the 16th of November. My name is still Steve Layton, hasn't changed yet, but my location has. Let me just have a second to look at that view. I'm currently in Bahia on a kind of buying trip stroke farm visit. This is the first stop of the trip. We've got a whole heap of coffees to cup in around about 10 minutes time, which I'm very excited about. Some very unique lots as well, which I think you guys are going to be excited about too. But while I'm out here, I thought, why not do an In My Mug? So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Got no comments to read, I'm afraid. The competition will have to hang on till next week because I haven't got a printer, I haven't got a computer, I haven't got access to the internet, I haven't got access to Twitter, can't access my blog. Can't believe I'm missing the internet. But yeah, so I thought, why not do this now? Coffee I'm going to talk about today is not a Brazilian coffee, funnily enough. Come all the way to Brazil, but we basically reviewed all the Brazilian coffees that we've got, so I felt that it was time to do something different. So we've got a Kenyan to cup, which is Kenya Kiriga, not to be confused with Kiriga that we've had before. This is a new one for us. It's a few months old, kind of landed 2-3 months ago. We cupped it, didn't like it so much, went back to it, absolutely adored it. So just goes to show again that kind of resting can sometimes make a coffee develop and open up. Don't know masses about the estate either. Who knows if it's an estate, it could be a co-op. This is all the information I've got. I have got the importers on the case to try and find out a little bit more for us, but as yet haven't heard anything back, so we're kind of just going with it of being a good coffee on the cupping table. Like the Kiriga, very similar cupping profile, so looking forward to diving into it. Going to be doing it with the AeroPress. I've got the water boiling at the moment, so I am going to whap you on pause and I will tell you all about the coffee in a moment. Right, so I'm back. The mug I'm going to be using today is just one of Luca's mugs, whose lovely home I'm stopping in while I'm here. He basically picked me up from the airport yesterday, which was 6.5 hours away, drove me all the way up here, and he's going to drop me back at another airport, which is 2.5 hours away, then drive all the way back to Salvador afterwards. He's been an absolute superstar and a gentleman, and yeah, I'm sure you'll be seeing some videos of Luca very soon. Now, you know how anal I am about weighing things and how anal I am about grinding things to order. I'm about to use pre-ground because my grinder broke just before I came away, and I'm going to go, that's enough. Really what you should be looking for is around about 16 grams of water for this one. Well, 16 grams of coffee, sorry. Which I'm guessing is around about that. I'll get that little bit off there, I don't want to waste. The water I'm going to take up to the 3 level. Now I know people are going to be putting in the comments, why aren't you doing an inverted method? Do you know why? Because I don't feel I need to. I kind of like brewing this way. It's always worked for me, and the inverted, I can see why, but I don't feel it changes the cup enough to warrant doing it. And you know, this is kind of good as it is. So you see, they've got a little bit of a drip, but it's not much, and it's, you know, I'm kind of quite happy with it that way. So I'm going to have a little bit of a snozzer in the bag today. Now this one is very delicately roasted. This is a proper medium to light roast. Put it in the sun for an hour and it's roasted. It really doesn't need any more because it's such a delicate flour, because it has so many delicate flavours within it. It doesn't need a darker roast. But from the aroma of the ground, it smells incredibly creamy, which is a bizarre thing to smell. And you've got a little bit of a zing on there, which you tend to find in Kenyas that are good. Now normally I'd be giving it a stir. I don't have anything to stir with. This is proper coffee on the hop, back cave, dark, kind of a little bit different in my mug. But you know, when you're at Origin, the one thing you just want is a good cup of coffee, so I'm hoping to actually get that. So just applying some pressure, forcing through. Now if you don't own an AeroPress, you should, because they rock and they are the coolest thing to travel with, because they're made of plastic. They're really cool. Now I'm topping the rest of this up with water because I don't like the AeroPress as it comes. I'm just going to knock that into there actually, so I don't mark this lovely table. I don't like AeroPress as it comes. I always like to dilute it. I would have diluted that a little bit more if I didn't realise quite how small this mug was. So time to smell the actual coffee. Again, I can smell the creaminess coming off, and it smells delicious. And for a man who hasn't had a cup of his own coffee since Monday, I'm sure it is going to be delicious. Okay, wish I'd upped the dose a little bit. I don't think my 16 grams was quite 16 grams. The first thing that hits me is it's really clean, like zingy clean, almost transparent on the first kind of gulp. Then you get this viscosity of the creaminess that you could smell, that I could smell on the aroma, and it's really kind of building up, and then the acidity kicks in, and you suddenly get this kind of red wine meets a mashed up orange, kind of coming together in the flavours, which just is delicious. But it's while that creaminess is still going on and building in the background. This is a slow burner. It doesn't hit you straight away. I was kind of thinking it going, oh, bigger dose, but actually I don't think it needs a bigger dose, because it just builds, and if it was bigger, this aftertaste would be huge. This is a coffee that I think I'm going to be tasting for a little while, although it's not going to be around for an awful long time. But I think, you know, you taste it and you kind of go, whoa, that's really growing. Don't know how long we're going to have it for. We've currently got 4 bags. Kenyas tend to move quite quickly for us, so 4 bags doesn't go a long way. If it's here in 2 months' time, I'll be really surprised. But give it a go before it disappears. Going to pop a voucher code up below. That's going to give you 50 pence off in the store. We're already offering it at a fantastic price, so I can't really do a lot more on the price. But it's absolutely delicious. I hope you don't mind this kind of in my mug on the hoof. Otherwise it's not going to get done. That's pretty much where I was at, and I desperately wanted to do something while I was here. So thank you very much for joining me. There's going to be some more videos that come out of this trip, hopefully more professionally put together than this one. Keep an eye on the blog for that one, and just remember, life's too short for not being in Bahia.